Okay. Hopefully, you guys can hear me, no problem. Let me know if you're tuning in live in the comments below. Thank you for those of you joining me live. I wanted to come on here real quick just to give an update. I logged into my YouTube account for the first time in maybe like a year or two or something. And I tried to respond to some comments yesterday. And I saw that a lot of people were wondering like what happened to me, if I was okay, because I hadn't shown my face in such a long time. So I just kind of wanted to come on here and, share why and just where I'm at in life and what I plan on doing. I'm in the middle of getting ready for my day. So this is why I look like this. But so I am still in Lima, Peru at this current moment. And, the pandemic was crazy for all of us. And Peru was especially really, really strict. So hold on, let me backtrack a little bit. So, for those of you that have been following me active on my other social media accounts, you know that I'm a spiritual coach and I have another YouTube channel. It's called Stef Coaching. I'm thinking about changing the name of that account soon, just because I'm pivoting in different directions. But with that said, in 2019, because of where I was at in my business and everything, I decided to, and in my life, I decided to go, what's the word? Whatever. I decided to become a digital nomad and I decided to leave Lima and to start traveling around the world because that had always been a dream of mine. And that was part of the reason why I wanted to become an online entrepreneur, is to just have that freedom to travel, to go see the world and do different things, meet different people, be exposed to cultures, etc. And so I went first to Mexico for 3.5 months. I did some videos here on the channel of my time in Mexico. I have one video apparently in the drafts of the cenotes in Mexico that I never got around to publishing apparently. So I don't know if I should publish it or not. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below or even in the replay whether I should just post that video. I think it's pretty much done. I haven't watched it, but it's there ready to be published. I think it just needs a thumbnail. So anyway, and then I came back to Peru for it was like a really cold winter, and then from there I went to Colombia, and I was in Colombia for 3 months. By the way, I don't know if this applies to everyone or just maybe Latin Americans or Peruvians or what, but I think it's everyone. I think because I remember meeting a Turkish guy, and we had like the same time that we could be in. You go to Colombia, they give you like 2 months to go and be there and do your traveling or whatever. And if you want to stay longer than 2 months, then you need to like formally request an extension and pay. I don't remember what it was anymore, but it wasn't that much, but you have to pay a certain amount to request an extension because otherwise if you go beyond the 2 months and then when it comes time for you to leave, like you could get deported and banned from the country for a while, which is what almost happened to me. It's a long story. So I'm letting y'all know, if you go to Colombia and you stay more than 2 months, make sure you extend your stay so you don't get into trouble like I did. So anyway, and in the middle of me going to Mexico and to Colombia, like in all of that, I was in a relationship that proved to be very toxic. It was like my first and hopefully only really toxic relationship. And that really just affected my mental, emotional, spiritual well being. And I try to keep a positive face in spite of all the challenges that I was going through in that relationship, which then bled into my business um, during my travels in Mexico and Colombia. But in Colombia, it got really, really bad to the point where like I wasn't making money in my business. And I was like freaking out, wondering like, am I gonna have money to like pay for my next place to stay at, to get to the next place, to buy something to eat? Like it got really, really bad. And that's a testament, I think, to the fact that like you got to choose your partners carefully because if you don't, like, you're going to suffer on so many levels a lot of times, right? Whether it's health, it's finances, it's your career, whatever it is. Like you have to really be careful and do something about it before it gets worse. And so luckily, I got myself out of that relationship after feeling challenged to do so because I actually wanted to get out of that relationship since like the very beginning, but I kept allowing myself to be manipulated back into staying in with that person. And then that was like the end of 2019. I finally was single. I was working on myself, trying to get myself back to a decent state of well-being internally in all the areas of my life. And then I just that's why I partly like I just stayed in Colombia longer than I needed to because I felt so bad and I was just too sad or depressed um to do anything else. Damn it. I get so emotional. I just remember back to that time and I was in so much pain. I was in so much pain and I was just so scared and disappointed in myself for how I let my life get to that point and why I let myself be manipulated for so long. And then when I was finally okay enough to come back home, I came back to Lima, and it was like the first time I feel like in all my travels, because I've lived in Europe. If you've seen my past videos when I lived in Europe and I traveled around Europe, um, I've lived there. I lived in the US. I lived in Peru prior to all of this and stuff. I've been here this whole time. But like when I came back from Colombia after that whole ordeal, I came back to Lima. I just felt such a relief and I was just so happy to be back home. It was the first time I felt like Peru was actually finally my home because I had issues with that, like feeling where do I belong? I'm Peruvian. I was born here, but I was raised in the US and I never had like a solid sense of identity. Like where do I belong? I never felt I was American. I never felt I was Peruvian. And with people here, I share a lot of the culture, but I'm different at the same time. And so I never felt like Peru was my home until I returned and I felt like I don't know how to explain it, but it was like an energy of like just feeling embraced by my city, by everything that I know here, and knowing like I'm safe now, I'm okay. Like I'm gonna pick myself back up and it's gonna be okay. And I just gotta take those next steps forward. So, like 2 weeks after I came back from Colombia, the pandemic hit, and I had been seeing people in Colombia like wearing face masks, and I was like, why is everyone wearing a face mask? Like, I don't understand, because you typically see, people from Asia wearing face masks, because I guess that's like the thing where they're from. Um, but I was seeing a lot of people in Colombia in the airports and stuff wearing face masks, and then 2 weeks after I got here, is when the pandemic hit and everything got shut down and things were just really really ridiculous here for a long time. Like they had all these stupid crazy rules about how we're supposed to be out in the streets, and to the point where if you wanted to go to the grocery store, then there were set days for men and set days for women to go, and only like one person from each family could go. And so like on certain days you had lines of men waiting to be let into the store because you could only have a few people, a certain amount of people at a time. And on top of that, like it was really highlighting the fact that a lot of men um, don't know what the hell they're doing when it comes to the household. And like they were making a lot of jokes about how like women, we were telling them like get this thing, don't get the wrong brand or amount or whatever it is. I don't know. I think on some level it really helped men, maybe on some level, to really appreciate and respect everything that women do here, because this is a very much conservative, oftentimes misogynistic culture in my experience. I don't know, maybe the Peruvian men are going to come after me in the comments anyway. And so I hope that it helped them to appreciate everything that women do here, because women are really here. That in general, all over the world, women are such a powerful force for everything and for keeping a family together and moving the family forward. And so that was some of the stupid stuff that they had going on here. Another thing was they didn't let you go into supermarkets or banks or shopping centers or whatever if you weren't like vaccinated and you had your vaccine card. You had to like prove that to get in, and that was and then a lot of times you had to put like two masks on top of like a face shield mask. Like it made no sense, like logically to my brain. I was like, the face shield makes no sense because it's open and it's being exposed to everything. Like, I don't understand, but that was the level of, and I'm not trying to make fun of anyone who went through that or whose family members did these things, because I know everyone at the end of the day was doing what they felt was right for them and what they thought was going to keep them safe and their family members safe and stuff like that. But for me, like, I'm an Aquarius, I'm very logically based, rationally based. Like, I like science, even though I'm very spiritual and I'm into the spiritual things. Um, but it just didn't make sense to me. And that was like the lengths that people went to, is like putting alcohol on their hands, on their shoes every time they walked in and out of their house, like changing clothes, putting on like a whole bodysuit whenever they went out into the street, and then coming back home and taking the little bodysuit off. It's kind of like a hazmat type thing, but without the face covering, you know? Like, this is the lengths that people went to try to be safe, and because of all the fear and the propaganda and the stuff that was in the media at the time. And I think that, well, I'm not going to say any more on that because I know it's a sensitive topic for everyone, and everyone has lost family members, I'm sure, on some level. I've definitely lost a number of family members during that period. And then what happened? Oh, yeah. And so even until like last November 2022, they finally lifted the rules or the restrictions on people transiting from place to place. So like now now you can travel and go to banks and shopping centers and the mall or whatever. You can go without the vaccine card. But prior to that, and just late last year, you had to have this to go anywhere. So um, because of the toxic relationship and me going through the pandemic and like not being able to go out and about and just working on myself all those years. Hold on, I gotta shut my phone off. There. Because of all of that, like, I didn't have, you know, a reason to really make content for the channel. I didn't even have the emotional space or energy. I've realized a lot in recent years as I've come to really understand myself more deeply that in the past I used to hustle so much and like do a lot and stretch myself thin without realizing I was doing that, just because that's how I was brought up. And that's a lot of what the culture or society pushes people to do, is like to work hard and hustle and get it done, and as if we're all meant to operate in this way, and that's not the case. I've since I think maybe 2021 or 2022 or something, I started kind of looking a little bit more into astrology and human design. And human design, especially, for those of you who don't know what it is, it's basically, I don't know, like a tool, I guess we could call it, that combines astrology and the Kabbalah and the Chinese I Ching and I don't know what else. And it combines it in a way to really help a person understand like who they are, who they came here to be, how they're meant to operate in the world. And you have different types of people, and everyone has a different function in the world. And so you have people who consistently have access to energy and can work for long hours on end. And these people are called generators. And then you have manifesting generators as well, who also have a lot of more access to energy. And then you have all these other people who are non-energy types, who are meant to serve different functions, whether it's to begin something or to lead something or to reflect back to people what could be done better, etc. So I'm one of the people that's a non-energy type, and I'm meant to lead people and guide, which is what I do here on some level. And so I during these times I learned to not force myself to show up and to do things just because I had to. And I learned to kind of relax back into my own energy and know and understand that I work in spurts. And there are moments where I'm really driven and I'll work on something. And sometimes I'll work on some things for like hours on end, but then the next day I'm like resting all day. Like I'm recharging myself in order to work again the next day or something. So I've learned to like understand how my energy works and how I operate in the world, and to let that be okay rather than judging myself. And so with that, I'm saying all of this because it's a lot of work to create content for two YouTube channels, for my travel channel and then my coaching channel, and write social media posts. I'm still like a solo entrepreneur. So and create posts and post, to the internet and engage with comments and see clients. Like it's so much for one person. And so I had to decide, like, okay, I have to drop stuff because it's unsustainable. I can't do it all. You know, I mean, I'm programming my mind to know I can have it all, do it all, be it all. But at this current moment, with this stage of life and where I'm at and the resources available to me, like I can't keep up with it all. I'm not going to burn myself out trying to keep up with it and trying to prove that I'm just as driven or motivated as other people, because that's the propaganda that I've been fed into by society and, culture and whatever else. And I'm not going to do that anymore. So, for those of you who know anything about masculine and feminine energy, I just kind of started relaxing more into my masculine energy or feminine energy, because I had been unconsciously operating off of masculine energy for a long time, based on my childhood and the fact that I didn't have a paternal figure really in important years of my life, and having to survive to take care of myself and my family. So I've been learning to like be more feminine and be more receptive and more relaxed as I go about my life. So anyway, all of that to say that, in the last couple of years, I've been also contemplating a lot, what I'm doing with the spiritual stuff, what I want to do, what feels right and true to me. And recently, I just kind of decided, like, I pigeonholed myself in a way, I boxed myself in a way by only sticking to the spiritual stuff, because that was important at one time in my journey. Like I really needed to only focus on that. But I am a multifaceted human being, and I like so many different things, and I like sharing my journey, in general, whatever it is that I'm into in that moment. And so I recently kind of started contemplating playing with the idea that, okay, I need to change my TikTok account around and post about anything and everything I want to do, I'm doing, I have going on in my life, and to just kind of become more of a personal brand and just share myself with the world in that way. Because the only place I've really been active the last year or so has been TikTok. For those of you, if you want to follow me on TikTok, you can. I'm going to change my handle though soon, so you can find me on TikTok as Stef Coaching. But I'm gonna change it soon, probably tomorrow or something, my handle. So when I have it ready, I'll put it down in the comments. But if not, you can find me as Stef Coaching for right now. And so yeah, so on my TikTok, I was only posting spiritual stuff, but I recently, I'm going on a journey of embracing more of my feminine, and part of that means taking more care with how I dress and how I groom myself, because I'm really simple. So this is how you'll see me on a regular day, but I'm like, that's not the image I want to portray right now. Like I go through periods where physical appearance is important to me, and then it's not anymore. It's just how I am. And right now it's important to me to like express myself physically in a certain way. So I've been kind of sharing a little bit about my fashion journey, and I want to start posting on there about travel stuff. My brother just came back from, he just visited Peru for the first time, um, like 3 weeks ago or something. And I took him around, different places. So hopefully, when I get the videos from him, because I took all the content on his phone, hopefully, when I get the videos from him, I can start doing some videos for TikTok on that and share it out to here, hopefully. But in the meantime, I'm thinking of just going around Lima and doing short videos of like things to do, what you should do, because I literally did my best to give my brother the best authentic experience, Peruvian experience, when he was down here. And like I took him to all the typical things that typical Peruvians would do, or how a normal day would be. And I kind of want to do that for the people. So that's what I'm thinking of doing on TikTok. It's just like, I don't know, I'm going to talk about personal development, my insights, travel, fashion, if relevant, or whatever, and just like whatever else I got going on. And I'm going to just repurpose the travel stuff to this channel, and maybe the other stuff that's not related to travel, I'll just post it on my other channel. That way I can still show up on some level, because people are wondering about me on both channels, and it's like, oh, I can't keep up with both of them. But this is a way that I can do it to try to be there for everyone and to help everyone out. So that's the plan. And what else? And I think that's basically it. I mean, this is my life story. This is what I've been up to the last couple of years. I hope that this answer satisfied some of you. It was enough. I'm just a real human out here going through shit in my life, doing my best to navigate it, doing my best to figure out who the hell I am as well and like what I really want. I think it's the millennial crisis right now that a lot of the people my age are going through, and just doing my best to help people as well, because that's the passion of mine, is helping people, whether it's with travel or their personal development or healing. I just want to do my best to serve in the ways in which God intended me to. So yeah, so thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you hanging out with me, whether you were here live or the replay. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below. And I will be seeing you soon. I'm coming up with a plan after this video of different things that I'm going to go and do and record. And yeah, we'll just see how things go from there as I start posting on this channel again more regularly. So have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Take care. And thank you so much for all the support that you've all given me all this time. I was really surprised to see that my channel had grown so much, even though I hadn't posted. And it means a lot to me that a lot of you are, sticking around and following me and checking in on me because you genuinely care about me and the content that I create. And also, sorry, I just want to really thank everyone for the support that they've given me, because it's not that easy being a person that's online. It's not that easy being a public figure. I had a really viral video on TikTok a few months ago, and I got a lot of negativity from that. And it just kind of reminded me of the negativity that I received on the video that I did here on this channel, when I was talking about how annoyed I got that people always ask me like why I speak English so well. People still ask me that today. But today I've matured, I've gotten wiser, I'm more understanding, so I don't get mad anymore, but it is still annoying. And anyway, I say all of that because it's like people came after me in that video on why I get asked why I speak English so well. And people came at me on the video that I did on TikTok. People can just be so mean online, and it's so easy to let that get to you sometimes, because I'm not a mean person. I try not to be. I only like turn mean when I feel attacked or something. But like, how to explain it? Like in ways where I feel like I have to defend myself, but in these other ways, like it's just like, why are you mean? Like, I don't understand why you use your energy to just spit negativity at people and hurt people's feelings or judge them or criticize them as if you're perfect, or whatever else. And so I've been working through stuff around my visibility and not letting strangers on the internet who know nothing about me to get to me or to hurt my heart, and to still allow myself to want to move forward with my efforts and want to move forward with speaking my truth or whatever I'm sharing with the world, and to just keep doing that because I know that there are good people out there that still like how I deliver things, or they appreciate me and my energy, or they're loving and accepting of me, and to focus more on those people as opposed to all the meanies on the internet. So I just want to say thank you so much to all of you who do support me, who do believe in me, and who do send me positive energy and think of me from time to time and send me, good wishes or whatever, unbeknownst to me or not. It really does mean a lot to me, and I'm gonna do my best to focus on that and not let anyone else and their negativity get to me anymore. So that's all I wanted to say. So thank you so much. I'm gonna go now because I got too many boogers coming out of my nose. So I will see you guys soon. Take care. Bye.